Last week, I started drawing pixel art and it completely changed my life. I always used to dream as a child to create video games, maybe create some art, but every time I would put the pen on paper, every time I would try to put a pixel on the canvas, let's say, uh, I would horribly fail. It would look completely horrendous to me. And I would quickly lose any and all interest in continuing to do that. I would just think to myself, like, yeah, maybe I'm just not good enough, I'll leave it to the more artistic people. But as time went by, over time, I could clearly tell that these ideas just kept piling up in my head. And I was just not doing anything with it. And I was getting a bit frustrated with me. Like, I would see all these other people do these things, and I would think to myself, like, I think I can do this as well. Maybe not better, but maybe I can do something similar. Like, I have a lot of ideas. Like, I have like an artistic vision, let's say, about how I would create things. So about a week ago, that all changed because I sort of convinced myself that maybe it's just not that I'm untalented. Maybe I'm not as talented as other people. Maybe it's just that I've just never practiced and I don't have the required skills and techniques to really be doing it. And I thought to myself, you know what? We will never know unless I try. So I just started drawing. I started out drawing really simple things, and I felt like as I was going that I kept on improving. And I've looked at it back now, more than a week later, and I thought to myself, like, okay, what has changed here? Like, I feel like I've gotten a lot better. I've been sharing my work with you guys on YouTube as well, in shorts, as some of you might know. And I've found like three takeaways, tips even, if you will, that maybe even might work for you guys. And maybe you guys also want to get started with pixel art, and I would wholeheartedly suggest it. So the first thing that really had a big impact on how I saw pixel art and how I worked with it was to just keep it small. And I mean that both figuratively and like in actuality. Like, I started drawing these 16 by 16 characters that I based on all sorts of 16 by 16 pixel art, like character blobs, Mega Man 16 by 16 is, I think, a classic. But same goes for like Street Fighter characters. And I would take these sprites and I would draw over them, as a reference. And using such a small canvas really showed me how hard it is to really convey something with such a limited resource, I would say. Like seeing the difference between one pixel line and a 2 pixel line, how that can create a crooked line instead of a straight line, really like changed a lot for me on how I looked at pixel art. The second thing that was really important for me is that I made a bet with myself, like, what could go wrong if you just do this for 100 days, put something out there. It doesn't really matter how good or how bad it is, and just ask for feedback, show it to the world, so to speak. And I'm not saying that you need to like share your depressed potatoes with the rest of the world if it doesn't feel right. Maybe just show it to a friend, show it to a loved one, a family member, or maybe share it on Reddit or YouTube, maybe, like I'm doing right now. Like, trust me, some of the pieces I've put out there on YouTube I'm really not happy with, but that's not really what matters. What matters is that I'm drawing every day, and I do feel that I'm getting better every day. And that takes me straight to the third point. The third point is like to put goals and to look at the process. Okay, I put myself the goal to do this for 100 days, and after 100 days of these daily pixel art challenges, I hope to have a better grasp of pixel art, and I hope to like be able to take the next step in developing my dream game. And what happens there is, like, after a little bit more than a week now, is that I look back at the pieces that I've made, and I'm absolutely, as I said, not happy with some of them, but I can clearly see progress. And I can clearly see that those little bits of progress is just really compound. Like, I started to get a grasp of how lighting works and how shading works. I started to get a grasp of how I can quickly draw clouds and backgrounds and how to make them blend better together. So I really feel like I've improved there. For example, like when I started, I couldn't for the life of me imagine that I would be animating something, and now I feel like I'm getting an inkling of a grasp of animation, and I'm absolutely loving it. So I hope these tips at least help like one of you guys. I hope it maybe helps you inspire yourself, and you can definitely expect to see more from me. If you have any suggestions of any tutorials I might be able to help you out with, I would love to do that. If there is demand for that, and we can learn together as we go and share with each other, give each other feedback. So that'll be me, Aether. So peace out.